Yeah. Ease your mind, take your time. It's all good, yeah, it's all fine. I'm rolling Rellos, smoking several. It's the vibe, get on my level. Ease your mind, take your time. It's all good, yeah, it's all fine. I'm rolling Rellos, smoking several. It's the vibe, get on my level. Pack of switches on deck, What you think we doing? What we doing? Bad bitches, all designer, love shots. Yo, we really cool, we really walk. Watch where you steppin', The drip really have them slippin', the swag down. And yes, I'm the chosen one. She catch a glimpse and she start trippin'. Oh my bad, let me guess that you ain't heard. I do my thing and I get jiggy. The night young, and ooh, I got a sprung. Hot, then we gettin' litty. She said you unique, and boy you got confidence. I told her that's 100. In her eyes you see astonishment. Ease your mind, take your time. It's all good, yeah, it's all fine. I'm rolling Rellos, smoking several. It's the vibe, get on my level. Ease your mind, take your time. It's all good, yeah, it's all fine. I'm rolling Rellos, smoking several. It's the vibe, get on my level. And I be lying if I said I wasn't feeling good. And baby, if you vibe into the beat, let me see you drop it like you should. Okay, now we getting down to business. She got talent, she work out, but I'm suspicious. What a past like? Bitch, she bout that bag like. Her, she got an attitude, but for me, she gon' act right. Ooh-wee, ooh-wee. I am really on it. Yeah, I'm on it. I put the pieces together, I do. Got all the components, I got them. And best believe we stand out. By now you get the picture. That the click move different. Break down another switch. Ease your mind, take your time. It's all good, yeah, it's all fine. I'm rolling Rellos, smoking several. It's the vibe, get on my level. Ease your mind, take your time. It's all good, yeah, it's all fine. I'm rolling Rellos, smoking several. It's the vibe, get on my level.
How's everybody doing? Y'all already know what it is. It's the Proof in the Pudding podcast show, and I go by the name of Sion 919. And we was just checking out Iron Throne Radio. I'm definitely excited about today's show because we got a queen in the building. She's definitely a pioneer in the game, doing a lot for the indie scene out there. Definitely have a lot of respect for her. She also has a talk show podcast as well, Iron Throne Radio. So definitely be sure to support that. She's not only a show host, she's an artist, actress, and she does a lot of things. But I'm going to let her get to that later on in the show. So without any further ado, I want to send a double salute, big salute to the queen, Strong Jewel in the building. How you feeling today?
Hey, hi, my brother. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful introduction, man. I'm honored to be here, man. I'm blessed. Thank you for having me, and I'm really looking forward to this. So double salute back at you, bro. You already know, man. And I love what you're doing too. So yeah, definitely looking forward to this show and being on here finally is really dope thing for me. Yeah.
Much respect. So let's let the people know, right? Okay. For the ones that may not be familiar, let's break down Iron Throne Radio. Let's let them know what you do on your platform.
Okay, so basically Iron Throne Radio is an independent artist radio, but it is also a review show too. So basically what we do, we air on a Monday, on a Wednesday, on a Friday, and on a Sunday from 8 till 10 p.m. We have a syndication partner called 610 Radio, so we air through their syndication radio. We also air on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And basically, we play the very, very best of independent artist music. Now, I've been doing it for 4 years. It's soon going to be 5 years. And it's just been a real blessing. Like, people basically just tap in. They send their music. Like I said, we broadcast on all those platforms. They send their music in. What we do is we give it, we play it, we give it a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. And if it rates 9 or 10 on a scale of 9 or 10, and we say, boom, like it's a hit, it's radio ready, like the mixing, everything is on point, then basically what we do is they win free rotational spins, which is consistent with us.
Right.
So yeah, it's like an ongoing thing. And evidently, the more that people tap back into the show, the more their stuff gets played. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically it. And we do exclusive interviews as well, obviously, like yourself.
Right.
We, to be honest, like we getting really like booked up, which is a really great thing on the exclusive interviews. Right. But yeah, that's basically what we do. Like I basically started the platform because being an independent artist and going through the struggle myself, and just realizing there wasn't many outlets, and I just felt like independent artists need us. They really do need the support, and I thought it was a great way of uniting people and building up their fan bases. And the blessing with it was, as soon as I started, it just really took off. Like, actually, to be honest, I have another radio show. Wow. Which I started before Iron Throne Radio, called Mix and Blend Radio. So it was initially Mix and Blend Radio, and then on that radio, basically all we play is clean radio edited music only. Right. We don't allow no cursing. And then what happened was, because I was getting so much of the explicit material coming through, I was like, I started working, with my partner in his studio. He had Iron Throne Recording Studios. So I was like, you know what? Hey, why don't we kind of put our heads together? And I was like, why don't I start? And he was like, yeah, why don't you start Iron Throne Radio? And then that way you can play all the explicit stuff. And that's basically how it was birthed. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And that's the thing right there. Like you said, you've been doing it for a long time. So going on 5 years, that's a long time. So what have you learned over the years? Like, and how's the game changed over the years?
I've learned an awful lot. And the thing is, I'm consistently learning. Like you already know, with anything, you never know. You're never going to know everything. It's like, even life, it's always we're consistently learning. It's been, how can I say it? It's been more rewarding than it's been, how can I say it? Yeah, it's been more rewarding than it's been not, if you know what I'm saying. But it's been very tough. It's it's a tough business. You already know. Right. Being an independent artist, getting into the industry is tough. Whether you're in the mainstream, whether you're in, this independent industry, it's a tough industry to be in. But I've been very, very blessed. Luckily, before I even started my radio shows, I was, blessed enough to work with different people in Philadelphia who had independent radios and different independent networks. Right. So I already got, how can I say it? I was already inspired, and I learned a lot just from working in these different entities. But in the end, it was a case of, like, I thought to myself, well, why am I working for these people when I can literally create my own? And evidently that's what I've done. But I've learned a lot. I really, the one thing that I love and that I've really seen grow on a massive scale is how so many more independent artists and just promoters and everything are coming together. Like, basically, when I started my show, that was my dream. I was like, you know what? I just want to have a platform where people come on, they literally will add each other, they will unite, they will do collabs with each other. And I get goosebumps now even talking about it, because that's been the power of my show. Like, you can guarantee when you come on my show, you're going to have enough people following you, tapping in with you. Like, it's definitely going to grow your fan base. And that was the one thing I really noticed, that kind of just kept getting better and better and bigger to the point where it's at now. And luckily now I'm actually a part of this main, independent industry called the NIT, New Industry Takeover, which is myself. It's other, independent entities like review shows, radio shows, within this circle that we all have now. Because obviously I have my community, they had their community, but we've all powered together. And one thing I did notice, real quick, one thing I did notice was I never ever saw with all the entities that I was working on, I never saw them interview any other entity that did the same thing as them. So I made a pact to myself, when I did my shows, I'm gonna be the first, one of the first that I know anyway, independent radio station to actually have on other hosts of review shows and radio shows, because I wanted to kind of make that difference. You feel what I'm saying? Right. And just show that we're not like the mainstream. You never see Hot 97 going on the Breakfast Club. You never see the Breakfast Club going on Hot 97. So that was one of the things I wanted to change. And yeah, luckily I've been blessed enough to make that happen.
You definitely made it happen, and you're definitely doing it well. So let me ask you, in the beginning, how did you build your brand? Because starting out is always hard. So let me ask, because I'm going through it now. How did you build your brand, and how do you stay consistent over the years?
So I started off, like I said, because I started off with Mix and Blend Radio. Now the story of that was I was working for another radio, and they basically they wouldn't let me co-host their show with them, but they wanted me to. They were like, "Are you ready to do your own show?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm more than ready." So I just came up with the name, and that was it basically with that one. And it just, like I said, when I started to do my shows, I was just hashtagging Mix and Blend, Mix and Blend, mix and blend, mix and blend. Then before you know it, it just started to grow. I think one thing that people forget about is hashtags. Like hashtags are really the way forward, like on a massive scale. If you can make sure you hashtag everything you post with your name, your logo, whatever, whatever it is, then that will definitely help get a bigger stream of people and interest in your platform. And that's basically what I did. With Iron Throne Radio, it was even easier because evidently the Iron Throne, you got the Game of Thrones, right? So already it was ringing bells. With Iron Throne, we had Iron Throne recording studios, and then obviously, starting up the radio, it was already it already had a massive buzz. Not just from Mix and Blend because everyone already knew me for that, but just for the name itself, because it is people do associate it with the Game of Thrones, even though I must say this disclaimer, it's nothing to do with the Game of Thrones, okay? Right. It's Iron Throne Radio, and as you can see, it's like this is how the hashtags are, so it's just Iron Throne Radio.
And that's the thing right there. And you're definitely bringing people together, uniting people, definitely a lot of talent up there. So let me ask, what can people expect going forward in the future from Iron Throne Radio?
Going forward in the future, we are just going to be getting bigger and bigger. Like I have a lot of plans for this, for my show. My main thing right now has been the outreach. It's just getting more people to know about it, and it's growing at a massive scale. I think, as you will probably agree, I think what's happened with COVID, and a lot of people have realized with COVID, it's really boosted a lot of us independently because we had no choice but to be in the house and do what we love. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, I got some major plans. I don't want to say too much because I'm very much, as much as I'm an influencer and I've influenced so many people, I try to not say too much until it's actually finalized. But definitely I'm going to be, I'm involved in a lot of other projects. Like I am actually a promoter for Top Mics, which is another major independent entity. I was actually a Top Mics approved artist for 6 years on the trot. Wow. And then what I did, I made the transition into my radio. And now they actually have me as one of their main promoters. So I actually bring the artists, not just from my platform, but any artists that tap me up that are interested in getting involved in the shows. And they put on shows all around different states. So yeah, with Iron Throne Radio, I really believe that at some point it's going to be a major household name. I do believe that.
I definitely believe it. You're definitely on the way. You just said a powerful thing right there. So you say you was the top mic artist for 6 years straight.
Yep. Top Mics approved. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. All right. So let's take it back. Okay. Let's take it back because they don't know. Yeah, you paved your way. You've been doing it for a while. You definitely built your name up. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't overnight, right? No.
That's the thing. I think, you know what? And I'm glad you said that because some people will look at you and be like, where'd she come from? How's all these people? How'd she get all them views? How all them people tapped in? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, people don't, until I do interviews like this, people don't realize it's been a struggle. Like I've been in it for years.
Wow.
It's been like 15 years?
15 years putting in work, and it's paying off, and you're definitely doing it well. So let's take it back to the beginning, right? Let's take it all the way back to the early childhood and all that. When did you first fall in love with music? Like when was it? Like
when I was born. Literally, like you can ask my mom. Like from I think like probably from 6 months to a year, I couldn't sleep without music. I had to have music. It was either someone sing me asleep, or radio had to be on, or tape cassette had to be on. Like music was just, that was it for me. It was just music. Like I just had this mad passion for music.
Okay, so you had a passion from the beginning, right?
Right from the beginning.
It's like, were you writing? Were you singing? Like, how did you first get involved?
So basically, I never believed I could sing. This was the thing. So I was that young girl that had all the magazines, like the hip hop magazines and stuff. They got like Smash Hits magazine. They got all these different magazines in the UK, right. And I used to buy them and cut out you know, different artists that I like and like just designer brands and stick them all on my wall. But the funny thing, it sounds funny, but I really never believed that I could do what they do. So it wasn't even a thought in my mind to do it. I was just like, oh my God, anytime there was any shows on the TV, whatever with music, I'm just transfixed. So yeah, I didn't even know I could. And then, like I said, I kind of just went along, just went along obviously in my young years. And then when I got to like school, when I got to like, we call it infant school. We call it infant, juniors, and secondary. I know you guys call it, you have a different terminology for it. But basically in infant school, we were, one day we were told to write a poem. And I actually wrote this poem. It was about being on the beach. And like from then, like I knew I could write instantly. But then my mom is a poet. So my mom hasn't released any of her work yet, but she is about to real soon, and no one really knows that. And she's an exquisite writer. So I guess I was blessed with that from her. And yeah, and like my dad was like very influential on the music tip too, because he used to listen to like Nat King Cole, Bob Marley, like, you know, my mom liked Sade and just all the different all the different Cat Stevens, like all different different genre artists like we listen to. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, so being from the States, right, we hear about the UK, we hear about the scene. They're dominating even with the drill music right now. So let's talk about back then, just for the outsiders that's never been, right? Put us in your mind. Let us know what that music scene was like back then. What was the atmosphere? And what was that feeling? Like, how did that inspire and influence who you are? You know
what? I remember the first like event I went to, but it was kind of like how can I say, it was like an under 16s like disco event. And I remember going, and they were playing like a mixture of like hip hop, house, like it was just, you know, all different music. And I already was very talented. I could dance. Like I used to do like majorettes, baton twirling. I did gymnastics for a bit. And I was very athletic and I could dance. Like I've always been able to be a dancer. I actually started out as a dancer. And it was just like, how can I say it? Like, it was just, I don't know how to even explain it. Like, because to be honest, even though I'm from England, I've never really been into drill. I've never really been into that. Right. I've always been into more American music because that's what they were playing on the radio. That's a lot of the time, apart from obviously the English artists that they would play. That's what when we used to go to this under 18s event, that's what they'd be playing, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. Right. So.
Okay. So back then, what were some of your favorite jams? Like if you had to think back, right? What were some of your favorite jams?
Oh my goodness. Mr. Window, yeah. Arrested Development. Wow. Oh my goodness. Milli Vanilli, like
you know it's true.
Sade, I mean, even some Paula Abdul, like oh my God, like so many, oh my God, there's so many songs. Like honestly, like my boyfriend, shout out to DJ Shizmite, he laughs at me because he's like, every time like different tracks come on, I'm like, oh, that's my jam. He's like, everything is your jam. He's like, everything is your jam. He's like, you know every song. Like, I'm like, I know. Like, I don't really have a favorite. I can't have a favorite. It's too much, bro. There's too many. Yeah, too many tracks, too many songs. Yeah, I can't. Now you made me think though. Now, like, you know, when you get put on the spot, it's really hard sometimes, isn't it? Like when I come off it, I'm like, yo, there was that song and that song, but you get the gist though of what I'm saying. There's so many. Like,
so many. And those are classics right there. And that was a good era right there. Marvin a lot of soul
Gaye as well. Oh my God, like Marvin Gaye is
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah.
Powerful. He was a poet as well.
Yeah.
And that's even the people you name, and they have a lot of substance in their music, a real message. Then it's like that music stands the test of time. Exactly. So let's talk about your early beginnings. Like, okay, so let's find out, how did you learn how did you realize that you could sing? What was that experience like?
Oh man, it's funny. I get goosebumps when you say that because I'll never forget it. So basically, it was actually 2006 when I got an opportunity to go to a studio for the first time. But obviously years before that, you know, I kept singing and I kept singing. And I remember one of my boyfriends, he laughed at me. He was like, what, you think you can sing? What, you trying to be a singer? And you know what, from the day he said that to me, that was in 2002, I think. It was in 2002. And from the day he said that to me, it stuck with me. And I thought, hey, you know what, all I gotta do is find out I can really sing. like, and just have that courage and that confidence. And guess what? I'm gonna do it. Right. And then literally it wasn't until 2006, because other stuff was happening, whatever, you know how life does. Right. And it wasn't until 2006, like I said, you know, these guys hit me up, we need a female vocalist, can you sing? And I was like, yeah. I just was like, I didn't even know if I would go. I was like, yeah. So I went to the studio, and oh my goodness, when we laid the track down, they were blown away and I was blown away. And I was like, hold on, is that me? They were like, yeah. And I was like, wow. And then basically from there, I just threw myself on stages. Like I literally, one of my friends was performing an event. There was like 150 people there. I have the video clip still. And I had this instrumental with a hook on it already, but I hadn't gone and laid it down, but I just went in with the CD, went up to the organizers, like, can I perform? They had a live band on there, and they called me up like about 45 minutes, like, okay, we're calling the blend to the stage right now. And I'm like shaking, like, oh my God, I've never performed in front of no one. And I got on the stage and they put the CD in, and obviously it was just a hook. So I just started a freestyle, like sing the hook, freestyle with like, obviously freestyle on the instrumental. And then the band started, they caught on to the rhythm. So they started to play, and I just went for it, man. And the crowd's reaction was crazy. And it was after that, I was like, you know what? I just need to start doing, like little competitions and open mics and stuff. And that's what I started to do. And I ended up like, that really started to build my confidence up. It really, really did. You know, I had a couple people tell me, yo, you should just do soul music. And the same thing with me is like, I hate it when people try to put me in a box. Once you try to box me in, nah, I end up doing everything that people say I can't do. You feel what I'm saying? So
right. That's real right there. We got Black Empire Entertainment in the house. Salute to them.
Shout out to 37, man.
All right, so that's dope right there. So okay, so you just started jumping on stages, doing open mics, building your confidence.
Yeah, and I actually applied to be in a girl band. I remember that was in 2017. There was a girl band. They were looking for one other member, and I went, and like, I mean, I killed the audition, but at the same time, I wasn't obviously, you know, what they were looking for, but I didn't take it as a hit to be like, okay, you're rubbish, you should stop. I was just like, ooh, I felt good. I was like, and then I applied for Britain's Got, was it not Britain's Got Talent? Was it X Factor or Britain's Got? One of them. And again, I killed my audition, but I didn't get through. But again, it was, you know, it kind of, you know, lifted me up, and it just gave me more and more confidence. So that's what I started to do. Then what happened was in 2006, yeah, so towards the end of 2006, something happened with someone close to me. And in the end, what happened was I ended up moving into I moved from the one town I was living, which is Reading in the UK. I moved to another town called Bedford. And when I moved there, I was like, you know what? I don't know what happened, but I was like, I don't think I just want to be an artist on my own. I think I want to join a group. So I put an advert out, right? Letting people know that I'm a female artist looking for a group. And I got hit up by a number of people, and I ended up being in a group called Junction 10. That was the name of us, Junction 10. And it was with 4 other guys from Luton in the UK. And we basically did like conscious reggae music. And we used to go around to schools and perform this conscious music. And that was some of the best times for me. Like, it was really dope, because on a confidence level, my confidence just skyrocketed from there. And then after that, I ended up, what happened was, because they were in Luton and I'm in Bedford, which is like about 40-minute drive away from each other, which isn't far, but they were individual artists too. So they got busy with their individual products. So there was always still love there, still is to this day. You get me? But we kind of just ended up doing our own thing. So then I ended up in another group called LOC, which was a whole new step up for me, because I was used to singing and rapping in patois, and that was it. Then when I got with LOC, they were like, well, can you just rap normally? And I was like, well, I've never tried it before. So they put on a beat. I wrote to the beat within like 15 minutes. They threw me in the studio and I killed it. So I was like, oh my God, I can rap too. Wow. So that was it. Then I was with them until 2013. And then again, like I said, they kind of drifted off because they were all doing their own individual projects. And then I got the opportunity to come to America in 2015. So I came.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. So you came to America in 2015.
Yep, February the 26th, 2015. I remember the dates.
Wow.
So prominently.
Wow. So we got Global Empire Entertainment in the house.
Yeah, shout out to Global Empire Entertainment.
All right. Then we had somebody, I hate to put you on the spot, but somebody said they want to hear some bars.
They want to hear some. You want to hear bars now? All right, I can do it. You want me to do some patois bars? Okay, let me do it. Right. True Ghanaian Gaza, so they know how to honor and I respect the father, oh no. Cause every time they see the youth them rise, they wanna see them fall like I call them a driving star. True a junction, thank me a rope on, and the whole of my team, them a champion. If I want them a priest, and I'm gonna cemetery, cause junction them can't step on. I see tears, I see crying, I see the ghetto youths them dying. Me don't know what they want a war all the time. I see tears, I see crying, I see the ghetto youths them dying. Me don't know why they want a war all the time. Wow. Thank you.
Standing ovation right there for that.
I'm singing, but anyway.
Wow, that's powerful right there. And even the message behind it is very powerful. So let's talk about how long did it take you to develop your sound? Because you have a powerful voice and it's like, even in the words, how long did it take you to develop your skill?
I'll be honest with you, I even feel like I'm still developing it. You see, with me, because I'm so diverse, hence that's when the name DaBlend came from, because I can just switch my flows up, down, my voice, my pitches. So I feel like I'm still trying to find that proper sound. Shout out to Dean Foster, man. Loyalties before royalties in the building. Hey. Yeah, I'm still trying to find that sound. So, when I first started singing, I was very comfortable with just, because I have like quite a deep voice. So I was very comfortable with just low keys and stuff. But what people don't know is I have been working behind the scenes on just mastering like my whole vocal range, because my vocal range is massive. But I just got so comfortable with just, the lower end scale. Right. So I've just been working and working. So I don't even think I've really found my proper sound as of yet. I feel like I'm still developing that. Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. So you're definitely versatile. You can do many things with your voice like that. You said a powerful thing about being able to work all types of ranges in the sound. Mm-hmm. So let me ask, were you taught or were you self-trained, or did you have somebody coming in to train you, or did you learn on your own?
I was self-taught to begin with. And then in, let me see, when was it? In 2009, I assisted the help of a vocal coach in the UK. But it wasn't, I only literally did it with her. I think it was like 5 sessions. But what it was is because I had trouble with the whole breathing aspect. Right. I didn't even call her in to help with the higher range or anything. It was just, I knew when I was performing sometimes, because I used to get paid to perform at hotels, at restaurants and stuff. Sometimes when I'm doing like 6 or 7 songs back to back, and I like to move. I like to actually perform when I'm on the stage. Right. Like I would run out of breath. So I did get some assistance then. And then obviously since I've come to America, when I decided to get back on my music heavy this year, I was like, you know what, I'm going to tap in. And I've actually tapped in with an absolutely outstanding vocal coach. She's actually a back-end singer for Nicki Minaj. Wow. And and a load of other people. And she is absolutely outstanding, man. Shout out to Keisha Renee, man. She has been working with me, and I'm just really excited for what's going to be coming.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that's the thing right there. So, okay, you took a break, right? You was focused on the radio. Mm-hmm. Coming back into that, what's different now coming in? What's a different mindset coming in this time? Because now you got more experience. You done did the radio and stuff like that. So how is that coming back in as an artist again?
My confidence level is a whole nother level now, because I felt like, okay, so with me, like my confidence grew when I was in group. So when I was in Junction 10, it really grew. My performance, like everything just grew, like my confidence and my performance level, because I was comfortable being around people. Yeah. Then when I was with LOC, the same thing. But then when I took myself away from it, it was like, okay, you're on your own now. You get what I'm saying? Right. So even though I made the transition, I left them and I was still performing on my own in the UK before I came to America. When I came here, I remember the first time I came to Philly, yeah, and someone said to me, you know what, Philly is tough, man. They're either gonna love you or they're gonna hate you. And I remember shaking in my shoes right before performing on stage at this big event, and they absolutely loved me. And I was like, wow, I cracked it. Wow. But still, my confidence wasn't quite there. But when I started the radio, interviewing other artists and just the inspiration that I've got just from, supporting these phenomenally outstanding, people and artists, man. It just, my confidence is on the next level now. And because I've been working behind the scenes and just kind of staying low key with it. And I've definitely grown a lot. And I feel like the radio has definitely helped me like leaps and bounds.
Wow. That's the thing. You're definitely multi-talented, definitely authentic. You definitely have a good heart. So when we talk about the music, right? So now you're back, you're inspired, you're working on the music behind the scenes, but you're still doing the radio stuff. Let me ask, what part of the music side do you enjoy the most? Is it the coming up with the record? Is it the recording process or being on the stage?
Ooh, that's a great question. Man, that's a really great question. I love the recording process. I love the writing process and the performing process. But I would say the performing, definitely, because then it's all solidified. You get me? It's already solid. You already know, what I mean, how it all goes, and you're excited because you already know you put in that work, you put in that blood, sweat, and tears to do the writing or whatever, recording, perfecting it. So yeah, I would definitely say stage. Period.
Wow. All right. So since we talk about performances and stages, what are some of your best memories of performances that you had over your career?
Oh my goodness. I got so many. Man. Okay, now I gotta think. Some of them. I performed at Top Mics UK. That was back in, I believe, 2013. I think that was dope. The just again, the crowd's reaction, like it's everything when to get like the crowd singing your song and what I mean, just like blown away, when you come off the stage or when you finish performing, like that's just the next level, just the love that I got from that. Oh my goodness, performing in the restaurant when I used to perform in this Italian restaurant in the UK, again, the reaction from everybody, like, everybody coming over, like, hey, you're so dope. And I would just be blown away, really, because I'd be like, thank you. Like, I was really shy then, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, like I said, my confidence has grown now, but still, I'm very humble. And, again, performing in the Icon Hotel, I used to perform in the bar at the Icon Hotel again, like there, like just people coming up to me afterwards. And there it was a bit noisy because people are there eating and stuff. But people just coming over to me, just coming over at the end and saying, hey, yo, you don't stop. Like, just keep doing your thing, man. You got it. And then again, like all the times I performed I performed in Virginia when I came here. I performed at Femcom in New York, in Manhattan. Like, I get goosebumps every time I talk about my performances because it's just every time I've been really blessed, like to just have a really dope reaction from the crowd and the people. And that's an extreme blessing, definitely.
Wow. And that's the thing right there. Even with your name, Strong Jewel, you definitely have a gift, right? You definitely have even people in there saying, yo, your voice is soft but powerful. It's sweet but powerful. You get a lot of people that hear your voice. It's not it is a unique voice is what I meant to say. It's not like you don't sound like anybody else. It's like some people, they sing, you can put them in a box. It's like your voice is different. It gives a different vibe. So let me ask, making the transition from the UK to the States, right? Mm-hmm. How was that for you?
Who are you? Okay, so one thing about me is I'm very fearless. Like when I make my mind up to do something, there's nothing stopping me. The thing on my side was at that point I still don't have any children, so it was kind of easier for me I basically sold everything, got rid of like my apartment, my car, like everything. I actually moved into I rented like from living on my own, having my own apartment, new apartment and stuff. I actually downgraded into renting a room to just get rid of everything, stack up the money, and I came. And literally I was excited. I was like, you know what, no fear. But at the same time, my eyes were open because I was like, this could go another way. So just be prepared. You feel what I'm saying? So when I first came, when I flew over, it was not good. So basically, I normally wrap my hair. Like I wear hair wraps because, I am Muslim, but I'm not practicing Muslim. So I just call myself spiritual, really. so I decided, obviously because of, my roots and stuff and my ethnicity, I was like, okay, don't wrap your head because, it might give you a problem at customs. So I just put my hair up, came with a hoodie and tracksuit stuff. Yo, they snatched me at customs. They grabbed me up. They were very nasty to me at customs. I'll never forget it. And I can honestly say at that point, I was scared. Like at that point, then I was like, that's when I was fearing. They actually held me for like 6 hours. They wanted all my logins for all my social media. I had to give them all my logins. They took my Mac computer. They took it away for 6 hours. They went through everything. They went through my Instagram, my Facebook. They went through all my luggage. They snatched my phone out. They snatched my phone from me. They manhandled me. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. But once I got through that and the scare of just at first, even when they let me through after that time, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, they could just come. They had to know where I lived, where I was going, everything. I was like, yo, they could just come and take me at any day. You feel what I'm saying? And it was crazy because when they gave me my Mac bag, it was brand new, and they stabbed it up with the keys that have major like stab wounds in it still to this day. And I thought to myself at that point when they did it, I was like, why would they do that? And my friend was like, yo, you need to make a major complaint and get them to compensate you. But I was like, my mind, I always think like with my third eye is like, but why would they do that unless they were trying to make me make a complaint? Because if I made a complaint, they would make my life hell while I'm here, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm just grateful to be in America. Thankfully, I'm here. It's only material. Forget it. And I just left it. So apart from that and some other things that happened, it's been good. I would definitely say that the last 3 years have been 3 years, 4 years have been the best.
Okay. All right. I want to pause real quick because you said a powerful thing right there, right? I want to take a time out for the people in the States, right? Because to them, that's kind of like, now it's like, what's the word I want to use? Comfortability. It's like to them, they may be like, well, wow, that never happened. They don't understand. Okay. So you're catching a flight into the States.
Mm-hmm.
They snatch you out the line.
Mm-hmm.
Take your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Violate you.
Mm-hmm.
For 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're coming into America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And then it's like, so even with the injustices and stuff that goes on today, it's not just, it's bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you coming over.
Yep.
This customs.
Yep.
Wow.
And you know what was crazy about it? The really crazy thing, and I don't mean to do this, but like, I mean, because it's not really a white and black thing as much as people want to say, but I am going to say this though. Like, basically, when I was in the line, there was a brother on customs here, and I was going to go that way. And then there was this white dude here. So when I went to walk to the brother that was on customs here, because he was free, that's when I was grabbed. Nah, you ain't coming that way. You're coming this way. And I was like, when that happened, like I get chills now because I'll never forget the feeling. And my heart just dropped. I was like, oh my God, what the hell? So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I'm sorry you went through that, but that's a real eye-opening thing because like a lot of times we get so comfortable. We think, oh, this is your first time here.
Mm-hmm.
Traumatic experience. You get through that. Your friend is saying, let's do a complaint.
Yep.
You're thinking wisely, saying no, because if I do that, they already got my information. They know where I live at.
Yep.
I don't even want to deal with it. I just want to be done and move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you do. You move forward. You move to Philly then? This is on the way to Philly?
Yeah, it's Philly. Yeah.
Okay.
This happened in Philly, like customs at Philly. Mm-hmm.
Wow. So now you get there, right? You leave there. So I know I'm pretty sure you kind of started, blood pressure up, you're going through it. What happened next?
So basically then I ain't even gonna hold you. Like I was like, it took a long time for that kind of, how can I say it, for me to feel comfortable because I just felt like they were on my back. Like, and every time like I would come out of where I was staying, if I saw like any customs vehicles or anything, I literally felt like, oh my God, like my heart would just start pounding, like they might be coming for me. Even though I know I didn't do nothing, you feel me? Like you just don't know. Like I didn't do anything to be pulled out of the line. You feel what I'm saying? Like they try to say, oh, because you had 2 suitcases. Well, I'm coming for like a long time. Like, why wouldn't I have 2 suitcases? That was the reason they tried to say they pulled me, but it was deeper than that. It was deeper than
You
that.
definitely know that. And that's the thing, right? You have a powerful message. You're a queen. You stand for, righteousness. You stand for unity and stuff like that. So, okay, let's talk about, in the world, right? It's like even the ones that stood up for change or the ones that lifted their voice, they're often intimidated to be quiet, right?
Right.
So let's even break down the meaning of your name, Strong Jewel, for the people that may be not familiar. Let's let them know, because they need to put some respect on it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't just call yourself that for a reason. It's like, yeah, that's who you are. So let's break down the meaning, Strong Jewel.
So I want to, if you okay, can I start with like, because the people, it's Strong Jewel is my name now, but initially it was D Blend, and then it was the Blend Persian Paper, as you put on the flyer. But obviously it transformed into Strong Jewel. So I'm gonna start there, because then it makes sense as to why it's Strong Jewel now. Right. So obviously when I first came into music, I was gonna call myself Blend, like just BLEND, because I knew, like, I realized how many talents I actually had. So I'm like, okay, that's a good name. Then my mom was like, no, call yourself D Blend. It just sounds better. So I was like, all right, DBLEND. She's like, no, DE hyphen capital BLEND. And I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, like the acronym in my mind, I was like, yo, guess what that stands for? I thought the greatest acronym for it. Mom was like, what? I said, don't ever believe less. Everybody needs dreams. Like, because I didn't believe in myself. And then when I started to, that just seemed like the perfect name. So that was my singing name. And then when I was with Junction 10, it was Da Blend. Then when I got with LOC, it was still Da Blend. But then when I realized I could rap, Persian Paper came into play. Because I'm like, okay, so Da Blend is a singer, Persian Paper is a rapper. Then how Strong Jewel came is when I started to get a lot more knowledge of self. That's when Strong Jewel came into it, because every time I would get involved in the discussion and that, it was funny. One day I was talking to someone and they basically said, yo, you're a strong jewel. That's a strong jewel you just put out there. And I was like, bing. I was like, ooh. And that's what Strong Jewel means. Now I'm still going to break it down, because I have, even like my name is Strong Jewel, but my label is Strong Jewel and Strong Jewels. So people think the label Strong Jewel, that's just a female brand. No, it's not. The strong actually stands for the man and the jewel stands for the woman, because a man and a woman together are powerful. Therefore, it puts the name together, Strong Jewel, because we all have both male and female chromosomes in us. You know what I'm saying? Even though you're a man and I'm a female, and that's where the name came from. And I just feel like us, all of us, we're strong jewels, man. We've been through so much, and I just, it's definitely a powerful name. And I was like, I gotta take that. So it's trademarked and everything, and it's very rock and roll.
Wow, and that's the thing right there. You definitely have a real sharp mind. You say you found knowledge of self, right? So let's break that down for the people. I know what it means. For the people that may not, let's break it down. Let's do a little history on it.
Okay, so basically, knowledge of self is understanding exactly where you're from, why you're here, everything about history, knowing that, knowing your purpose, basically, and knowing that what we see on the TV, what is put in front of us, it's not the reality of what really is going on. And when you actually tap into your third eye, and you actually tap into having that knowledge of self and believing in yourself and understanding what is really going around. We call it woke, right? When you wake up to stuff, when you're woke, you start to really see and really feel what's happening. And it's funny with me, because when I was younger, I used to have like dreams, and I could never understand, like, why am I dreaming? Like, I used to dream about living in the Egyptian times, and literally would wake up like thinking, damn, did I live in that time? Like, wow. But I never had no one to talk about to it. No, never had no one to talk about it to, even. Let me hear her words out. Yeah. And then, like, what happened in life, like, I just because I didn't have an understanding of knowledge. I didn't have knowledge of self when I was young. No one taught it to me. I didn't have an understanding. I just knew my dad was Persian. I knew my mom was Spanish, English. I knew I was different. I knew my skin color was slightly different to everyone at school. But it was a bit sad when I was young, because I was looking at, you know, the white people like, oh, I want to be like them, because I would get called like a Mars bar and stuff in the summer because I would go a lot darker and things like this. And I really didn't have no knowledge of self. So what happened in my life, not having that, you know, I kind of went down some rocky paths, you feel what I'm saying? And it wasn't until after going through so much, like so many crazy things, I started to tap into people that had knowledge of self, and I started to learn, and it started to all fall in place for me. And that's literally where I saw my life starting to go in an upward degree, as opposed to a downhill spiral, because it seems like it just kept going from one thing to another to another to another. But then when I tapped into knowledge of self, I understood why, because I was unaware of myself and where I came from and my roots and everything like that. So that's like the easiest way I could break it down. You probably break it down a better way than I do.
You did great right there. But that's the thing, is like, you're such a powerful woman, right? It's like, even when you speak wisely. A woman of wisdom.
Thank you.
Right? But it's like, okay, so you're definitely inspiring other people. You're definitely conscious. You're bringing a message to the game. How important is your brand? How important is your creative control in your career?
Very important. It's very, very important. And I want people to understand that whether you're an artist, whether you have an establishment, whether you have a whole entity, like, be very, very mindful. As much as the internet is great, you have to be very mindful what you're saying, what you're putting out, because whatever you put out, whether you delete it or not, it can get screenshot. We see it all the time with celebrities, right? You see them post up and then they delete it within a minute, or a couple of seconds. But guess what? Then you see it posted up everywhere. Your brand and your reputation is paramount, and you have to believe this too. Word of mouth is everything. Word of mouth is everything. It takes you to do one thing wrong to someone, like, majorly wrong to someone, or just wrong in general, and that could ruin everything that you work hard for. So you have to be very, very careful, very strategic, very wise. Always, just be very mindful. That's all I can say really with that. Like, it's so important to me, because your brand and your reputation is everything, right?
Right. Definitely. It's almost like your credit. It's almost like your credit score. It's like, that's what people are going to judge you on. So you're definitely facts about that. So if you had to describe your sound, what would that be?
My sound. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Maybe they can help me in the they can help me in the chat, yo. How would you describe my sound, yo? Okay, so do you mean like how would I compare my sound to someone, or just mean like, can you just elaborate a little bit on that?
Like, is it like a genre? Would it be like soul? Would it be conscious music?
Okay. Definitely conscious all day. Let me tell you a quick story. It's very quick. Okay. So when I was with Junction 10, everything was 100% conscious, all the way to the core. The guys, not me, they used a few explicit, minor explicit words sometimes, but we dubbed those out when we used to go to the schools and perform. But it was very minor, but everything was uplifting and conscious and telling a real story of what is happening in the world and just trying to uplift people. Then what happened when I did the transition from them to LOC, I was writing conscious. I wanted to be that type of artist. I was like, there's so many artists out here, cursing, swearing, talking about all this and that. I just want to be a positive role model for the youth and just be a different type of artist, because obviously I was already wrapping my head and class as a Muslim artist, even though, like I said, I'm not practicing. Well, not anymore. And basically, when I got with LOC, when I went in the studio the second time to write, I was like, yo, I got this song, and I went in to lay it down, and the guy called me out, and he was like, nah, you gotta rewrite it. And I was like, well, what do you mean? It's like, nah, you gotta put some cuss words in there, and you gotta get gritty with it, and you gotta talk about like some of the gritty stuff in your life, like remember when you was angry and stuff. So I did it, and the thing is, like, it was easy for me, because all I had to do was just kind of put my mind in that zone of things I've been through and just talk real stuff that I've been through and stuff. But it just didn't sit well with me, because I felt like it just changed my whole persona as an artist, because I went from this conscious, clean artist to now, cursing and saying this and saying that. And eventually the universe dealt with that anyway. And I sidestepped away from it because I knew it wasn't just that, it was other things that happened. You know what I mean? It's still love for everyone, but there was certain politics, should we say, that happened that wasn't fair. Being a female in the industry working with just these dudes, yeah, it wasn't. I guess, I don't know. I think sometimes you think being the only female in a group of dudes, because it worked well in the first group I was with, I thought, oh, yo, this is going to be dope. But what happened was, because I started to get a lot of the attraction and a lot of people wasn't crying about me, I guess some people felt a bit put out because like, hold up. Like, we've been in this group. Like, she's just come in. How come people is, you know what I mean? So I just gracefully move myself to the side, and it's all love. I still got mad love for the whole team. So shout out to the whole LOC, man, because it's love all day. Like, I still you know, have it on me because it was a major milestone for me in my career. It taught me so much, and it just, you know, like I said, I developed as an artist a lot through being with them. So,
and that's the thing. Again, you're teaching lessons, you're dropping jewels again right now, because even being a female in the industry, right? We're talking about reputation. We're talking about character and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, the industry is a vicious industry. It's male dominated, right? A lot of women, they may get a reputation that sticks with you, that stigma. You've managed, right, to have a royal, like, uplifting, you know, it's almost like, you know, peace to the queen and stuff like that, where it's like people won't even think about approaching you that way. Like, was that by design, and how did you escape? You know, because a lot of women, they wind up losing their respect in the game.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
It was by design. I gotta shout out my father, man. He's in Iran. He lives in Tehran now. But shout out to my dad, because even though I didn't have the relationship that I should have had with my dad, even though he wasn't home through some of my childhood, like, he still instilled for me to maintain my respect at all costs, like, never lower myself. Like, you know, I'm a man, I know what it is, I know how men think, I know. So always hold yourself high and never lower yourself in your standards. And, you know, and on another aspect as well, he was always like, you know, money doesn't grow on trees, you got to work for your money. My dad had me working in a store at like 6 years old for pocket money, and, you know what I mean, it just ran from there. Shout out to my baby man, I love you, he's in the building. Those lit DJ Dramatic. Yeah. So yeah, so I maintained it. So yeah, it's a purpose thing with me. Like, and just like I said, being in love with music the way I was when I was young, and watching like MTV and everything, and just seeing how the, you know, I mean, how some of these females were, you know, just how can I say, projecting themselves. I was like, I never had the passion to do it that way. I was always like, you know, if I decide to come in the game, I'm gonna stay modest. I'm gonna stay me. I'm gonna hold my respect. And I feel like you said, I'm glad you said that. It's very true that whether people know you or not, energy doesn't lie. And it's like, you know, how you carry yourself as a female, it's more than just with your music, and that it's how you are every day. It's how people approach you on the street. Like, people, it's like my boyfriend, he always laughs at me. He's like, yeah, men must be trying to chat you up on when you traveling. And literally, I lie to you not, it doesn't really happen with me. I mean, obviously, you know, the old one, like, but it rarely happens because I don't feel like I give that aura off. Like, I just don't give that aura that, yeah, you know, yeah, come look at me. Yeah, ooh, I don't do that. So, and yeah, so it's purposeful.
And that's the thing right there. And that's definitely a salute on that, because like, that's needed right there. Because like, even with the music, a lot of times women get disrespected. They get talked to any kind of way. So it's good, a breath of fresh air, that we have models out here that's like, yo, I'm not lowering my standard. I'm not taking my crown off. I'm uplifting, and you uplifting everybody. And it's like, it's bigger than even just you, because like, even with your movement, you're always reaching out, you're supporting others, and you're giving back. And that's dope right there. And you don't find a lot of people like that. So let me ask you, as an artist, if you can work with 3 people, dead or alive, what would be 3 artists that you would like to collab with? If you can collab with anybody, it could be Bob Marley, it could be anybody.
Man, anybody. So whether they're still doing music or not, right?
Anybody, 3.
Man, I gotta put Lauryn Hill on there straight from the rip. I gotta put Lauryn Hill. I gotta put Eve in there, man. Eve's my girl. Like, Eve has been my girl, like, since I can even remember, man. And then I guess we should put We should put a guy in there. Who would it be? Man, this is fun. I'm so used to asking that question on my show. Now I'm like, let me think. There'll be Lauryn Hill, Eve, and man, I gotta think one more. Man, my mind is just, I'm trying to think of a guy, right? And my mind is just bamboozled right now. Big Daddy Kane. Boom.
Big Daddy
Oh, yeah.
Kane. Wow.
Yo.
Big Daddy Kane.
Because those are three possibilities that there is a possibility because I actually know Eve's dad. Like this is crazy. Like being like Eve was one of my biggest inspirations, right? On a rap tip. And it was like, I remember when I was in Philly, I was at an event and, you know, there was a group of people there and they were talking to me and then one of them came and said, oh, you do realize who that is talking to you? I was like, no, that's Eve's dad. I was like, wow. And then they used to invite me to their like events, their private events and stuff.
Right. So you never know right there. All right. So let's double the stakes, right? Let's make it fun because like you said, a lot of people always ask that question, right?
Yeah, they do.
So we're going to double the stakes for you, right?
Okay.
I like to play games on the show sometimes.
Ah!
All right. Okay, so now here's the thing, right?
Okay.
We said Lauryn Hill.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting in the room with her.
Okay.
You're pitching the song to her. What's the idea? What's the concept to the record?
The concept would be something that is very uplifting, inspiring, encouraging, something that is really going to make people think twice about doing something that they shouldn't do. There you go.
Wow. Then she turns to you and says, I'm with it. Who's doing the beat?
DJ Shizmatic, baby. No, he's tough, man. He's so tough. Yeah. So he would be perfect.
He would be perfect for it. Okay. Yep. Then it was Eve, you said, right?
Yep.
Okay. So Eve is sitting there, her and her dad. I remember you. So what type of song are we doing? Pitch the song. What are
we would do, I think me and Eve, it would have to be like some woman empowerment track. Because that's how I see Eve was always, you know, I'm going to do my thing like it ain't done before. Yeah, it would definitely be some uplifting, woman empowerment track. Definitely with Eve. Right.
So now we're going to double it up. Because she's in the UK, you from the UK. She's from Philly, you in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Where y'all shooting one part in the UK at? Where y'all going to shoot that part of the video? And then where y'all going to shoot at in Philly?
Okay, we're going to shoot in London. We're going to shoot in, I don't know what part of London, though. I'm trying to think. Definitely in London, but somewhere like, I like South London. I'm a South London girl. Shout out to my South London fam and crew, man. Yes, somewhere in South London.
Right.
And just to keep it real, you feel me? Like, and then in Philly, somewhere where I love the like the graffiti and stuff, like somewhere where they got that dope artwork going on, man. Yeah.
All right. And what are you wearing?
What am I feel like with Eve, I would definitely be rocking I would be rocking some Adidas gear, like period.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely the Adidas gear. But I think I would probably put a head wrap on just to make it look different, just to give it a different kind of flavor.
Right, spice it up a little bit.
Spice it up.
Okay. All right. So Kane says, why should I come out and do a song?
Why?
Right.
Because you know you want to.
So he said, okay, you got me.
Why should you come out and do a song? Because, come on, man. Big Daddy Kane, man. You're one of the greatest to ever do it. You feel what I'm saying? And I love the fact that he is the person that he is, but he has so much humility about him. You have so much humility about you, Big Daddy Kane. And, you know, he uses his platform to showcase certain independent artists and stuff. So I feel I would be a dope person for him to collaborate with based on my platform and based on all the other connects I have with outstanding artists. I think it would be something really dope.
It would be powerful. It makes sense. So what would the song be about? What are y'all going to be talking about?
Now I think what we would be talking about we'd be taking it back to the old school. So we would be referencing the old school, like old school hip hop, and mentioning the pioneers, mentioning all the names of all the pioneers in hip hop.
Wow. Okay. And who's doing the beat?
DJ Systematic, baby. Because he already talks to him. They already talk. They already like conversate on like Instagram. Like Big Daddy Kane calls him and he speaks to him, and they are. I don't want to say too much, but they are planning on something. So
wow, so it could happen. It could definitely happen. So they say, okay, boom, we got the record, we got the videos now. It's time to go on the road. You can only pick 4 places, 4 tour stops.
4 tour
Where y'all
stops.
going?
Okay. LA. Definitely LA. Hold on. LA. New York. Period. Miami. And hold on. Let's say LA, New York, Miami. And you know what? You're probably gonna laugh at this one, but I would say DC because shout out to my little sis Flyza. She's in DC, and I know she's like this with Big Daddy Kane too. So we would have to go there so we could tap into her also, maybe put her on the track.
Yeah, and that would be dope right there. And that's the thing, you're a visualizer, right? So with visualization and speaking things, it manifests. So not only are you saying, yo, I'm gonna do this, it's already in the works. It's like connections are there. So it's almost like just one turn away and it can happen. So it's like I'm definitely praying that those doors continue to open for you, because that's the thing. Networking is key.
Yeah.
In this business, networking is everything. You have a big network. How important for the people that's watching, how important is networking? And keeping that network, keeping your face and your value upstanding.
Your network is your net worth, okay? Your network is your net worth. Without your network, you're not worth anything, because at the end of the day, they are the people that are going to support you. They are the people that are going to buy your products. They are the people that are going to keep you motivated. They are the ones, that keep you lifted. You know what I'm saying? They keep you pushing. You feel what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, if you didn't have that, what's going to motivate you to get up and do what you do? If like with you, if no one's watching, no one's paying, you ain't got no one paying no mind, like you're just going to be like, what am I doing? You feel me? And it's very, very important. Your reputation is very, very important. It goes back to what I was saying about be very careful what you put on the internet. And you do have to be mindful. And I've learned, being in this game so long, I've learned years ago, I had to learn the hard way once or twice. You feel me? Like I had to take some L's. But I always see it, take an L as it's a blessing, not a lesson. You feel me? And you just make sure you continue to do the right thing after that. Like no one's perfect at the end of the day. We're always gonna make mistakes. Like even me, I still make mistakes on my show sometimes, but it's just a case of it's nothing major. It's just a minor thing. You just keep it rolling, man. Just make sure that you uphold your reputation, man, and really stay true to what you stand for, what you believe in. And how you treat people. With me, the way I treat people is everything to me. Like I always treat people how I want to be treated. Whether or not they treat me back the same, that's down to them. I treat people how I want to be treated. And one thing with me is I don't show love because I want that back from you. I show it because for me, showing love is a better feeling than receiving love. Even though, don't get me wrong, receiving love is fantastic. Right. It's just the feeling that I get. I'm a giver, not a taker. So.
And that's one thing I can say. Since the day I met you, it's like, yo, I know you my whole life. It's been nothing but love. And one thing I can truly say, you're authentic. You're not doing it with a motive. You're not doing it with, with something in return. You're honestly a genuine person. And it's like, yo, even I think it was Certified Nation. I think you had on the show.
Yeah,
from there, I started following you. And we've been in touch from there. And it's like, yo, it's been nothing but love. And it's like, so when you say, yo, I treat people the way I want to be treated, you're not just saying that. You live it. Because like I've been watching you, we've been in contact. It's like, yo, you definitely respectable. You definitely I keep saying royalty because it's like you carry yourself in a way where it's like peace, you giving peace, and it's love. It's love, and the energy that goes out is welcoming. It's almost like coming home or like a family reunion where you're being around your people, where it's like, yo, you're comfortable because like it's no malice, nobody's trying to hurt me. It's like it's serene almost. It's like you can be peace. So that's the energy you give off. I'm not sure if other people have told you that before.
Thank you.
And that's a powerful thing because it's like in the world that we live in, it's like, when you meet people like that, where it's like, they just have a peace about themselves. They're genuinely happy. They're genuinely showing love. It's like people want that. like, yo, you know, like, wow, like, yo, you know, somebody smiling, it makes you smile. It's contagious. Like, you might be having a bad day and something, it's gonna be all right. They encourage you now.
Right.
You like, you think about it later, like, whoa, that was powerful. That's how you do.
Thank
It's
you.
almost like you change the flavor
Thank you.
of the atmosphere, and that's dope right there. And it's like, that's big respect right there. So even with the music, they put you on the spot earlier. They said, yo, they wanted you to rap, right? I'm pretty sure you got something else before you go. For the ones that might have missed it.
Yeah, I do. Just you want me to do it right now, or can I do it like at the end? Like,
you can do it at the very end, so you have time to think about it.
I gotta get
it together.
I gotta get the face on. You feel me?
Right. No, it's all love. All up. So then let's talk about acting a little bit, because not only are you doing the music, before we get to the acting, let's let them know what's coming up with the music, because you got some stuff coming in the works.
Yes, I got some stuff brewing with the music. Once again, shout out to DJ Shizmatic. We're working on some stuff behind the scenes, and I do have a track called "On Top," which I actually did and released in 2009. I didn't officially release it, but I mean, I released it like on SoundCloud, Reverb Nation and stuff. It's called On Top. And the thing is, though, as much as I love that track, and it's, to me, and what the feedback that I've got, it's a classic track. It's one that won't date. The beat is a bit dated. Do you feel what I'm saying? So what we're currently doing is we are coming up with a new vamped up version of the beat, so we can lay the track down in order to actually officially release it on iTunes and everything. And it's a very uplifting track. It's a very uplifting song. It's basically for all you go-getters, all you people that, you know, do right by people and just, you know, do your best to live the best life you can, being the best person that you can, and just to stay consistent, and don't think the grass is greener on the other side, because it's really not. The grass is greener wherever you water it. Like, believe that.
And that's a fact right there. So what's your process when you're in your creative mode? Like, how do you get in your zone? Like,
you know what? This is with me, right? I can literally put on a beat and I can come up with a hook like that. I can put on a beat and someone can say, okay, I want you to write about this, and I'll do it. But that's not my best creative form. The hooks, yeah, my best creative form on a hook is literally put a beat on and I'll think of a hook straight away. Hooks is like my thing. But with with writing, the way I prefer to do it is, I don't even have to have a beat. Like, I might be talking on the phone and I have to have like a pen or paper or you know, have my other phone in my hand and just write, you know what I mean, write my lyrics down. Like, it just comes to me. Like, with me, I find like very late in the evening, like sometimes I can't sleep and I'll be going to fall asleep, but then I got the lyrics in my head. And this has happened to me a lot where I haven't written them down. Then in the morning, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to remember them. Then when the morning comes, I'm kicking myself because I don't remember it. Right. So yeah, I'm kind of one of those. I'll wake up in the night sometimes just to write some stuff down or in my phone or whatever. So my process, really, the best way I like to do it is if someone gives me a beat, more time I've already got material ready to go on it. But I do like it as well. Like, if I get given a beat and I just listen to it over and over and over, and then I just wait till the right thing comes out. Like, I don't rush my creativity process, because to me, it's the quality over the quantity with me. I'm not trying to be Beyonce. I'm not trying to be the next massive thing. I'm doing it from a place of love. Music is my passion. It's my love. So I just want to know when I leave this earth that I have fulfilled, you know, my purposes and, you know, my passions and my bucket list of things I wanted to do. And having officially released music out there is definitely one of them, because I want to inspire not just people in my family coming up, but just people in general to know that you can literally be so much older in life and actually not realize your talent for so long, but still flip it to a point where you pursued it and you did it. You know what I'm saying? And wherever it takes me, I'm happy, because I'm already living my dream, because I'm doing my radio, working on my music. You know, I got good people around me. So yeah, I'm very grateful.
Definitely blessed, and you're definitely doing your thing right there. So I'm nosy. You said something about a bucket list. So if you had to take 2 things on your music bucket list, what's 2 things on your music bucket list?
2 things on my music bucket list. I want to definitely perform like at a New Year's event in New York. That's one of my bucket lists. And the other bucket list would be like to perform at, this one's just been since, because the New York one has been since I've been in England. Like, that's always been on my bucket list to do a New Year to perform at a New Year's event in like Times Square, New York. But the other one would be, I'm trying to think which one I can say on this one. It would be, I should say, to officially get my music out there, because I've been doing music, like I said, since 2006, and I've never officially released anything on iTunes ever. And I know I should have done, because I know when I wrote On Top, people were telling me all those years ago you should have released it, because I had other labels wanting to take the song from me and remix it, and I was like, no. So that is my other one, but that was accomplishable. The one I on the bucket list. The one in New York is on my bucket list. I don't know if I'm going to accomplish that, but it is a bucket list. It's a dream on my bucket list. So.
Wow, you never know, because like you said, you're putting out that powerful music, so it's like all it takes is the right person to hear it. The world needs healing. Right, so it's like you had that message. It's like you never know. Even the one you were singing earlier was powerful.
Thank you.
Music like that, it doesn't date, and people can relate to it, because it's like people all go through storms. People all go through situations where everything ain't always uppity. Is not always good. There's bad times, you have good times, but learning to have peace in both.
Right.
You've managed to balance that, right? So let me ask you, okay, through the good times, we talked about some of that. I'm pretty sure without getting into it, there's been some dark days. How did you stay focused, and how did you get through those?
There's been, to be honest, there's been quite a lot of those. But in order to stay focused, it's been hard. I'm just talking I'm not gonna be specific. I'm just talking in general over the years. Basically, just to stay focused, just meditate and just taking that time to remind myself who I am. Don't forget it. Don't let the negativity get into my head, because it's very hard. Someone can say something to you. And I think when I didn't have as much confidence in myself, it was so much easier for me to fall into the dark places, because the confidence wasn't there. So if someone did say something, to me, I would really take it like, oh my God. And that's why that being the reason why I'm the way I am on my review show, I'm very honest, and I'm going to tell you the real deal, but I have a way with words. I'm very tactful with what I say, because I have been an artist that had stuff said to me that really made me at one point just stop. And I had to kind of kick myself up the butt and say, hey, girl, what are you doing? And it was actually friends of mine that were like, yo, pull me to one side, yo, you need to remember who you are. Don't let these people let you forget who you are, okay? And that was literally I had to go back and just home in and meditate and pray and just be like, come on, man, I give God the wheel, take me. And that's basically it. I think it's important to have people around you who are very uplifting. You have to have people that support you and believe in you as much or even more than you believe in yourself. I think that's very paramount, because if you don't have that, and through my life, I've had people that haven't, I've had people that have. If you have the people that don't, that can be very detrimental and very destroying, especially being an artist on a whole creativity level. I got music that's very depressing that I will probably never ever put out. I still managed to create, but there was other times where I couldn't even pick up a pen. That's how bad it was. But I overcame, and I'm glad I did.
And that's the thing, because it's real. So being a brand, being in front of the spotlight, you do your show. I'm pretty sure you said at least 3 times a week, right? You got a life. You got your things going on. You got your career. You got family. You got just day-to-day life. You know what I'm saying? You could have walked outside, seen an accident. Things happen every day, right? But it's like now when you're on the show, when you're in front of people, it's like you got to be able to put that to the side. And it's like, you're always giving out love, because that's what we do as hosts. We, make them feel special, But sometimes we don't always feel special.
Right.
Because it happens to me sometimes. So just from one host to another, how do you make that adjustment? And for me, it's almost like a switch. It's like when it starts, it's not about me.
I was just going to say that. Wow. I was just, sorry to cut you. I was just going to say that, I literally, I'll be honest with you, sometimes I'll literally be at a point of, I can't do this. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then I'm just then I just have to a light just switches in my head. And it's a voice talks to me. I mean, it sounds great. Nassim, get your butt on that radio right now. And the thing is, as soon as I get on there, I'm bubbly. Like no one would ever know. Like, you know, my girlfriend said to me, like, no one would ever even knew you was feeling the way you was feeling. My mom was there. No one could ever even tell. And it's just, yeah, I just have to, like you say, just put the switch on. But one thing I will say, and I think you can vouch for me, when I come off after that, I feel like, wow, like, did I really even have a bad day? Did I even have a bad day? Like, I feel so elevated and so lifted. And it's to a point where sometimes, like, I know I've got to get up and go to, you know, my other jobs in the morning, but I'm so hyped afterwards. I just can't sleep. I'm like, wow, the adrenaline's flowing. I'm like, wow, I feel great. Like that was literally what I needed. And that's what I love about my radio, because it literally does do that. I mean, I could be having the worst day, but when I come on, woo, it's like, and I come off, I'm just on another level.
Wow. Yeah. That's the thing. You're hearing stories and stuff like that. You're hearing inspiring stories. You may hear somebody's pain. You may hear somebody's triumphs. So it's like through that, it's like, yo, like you said, it's almost like it gives you this good feeling, like, you know, I did a good thing, you know, and you know, supporting somebody and stuff like that. Yeah. So let me ask, what's been some of the most emotional shows you ever done?
Oh, wow. Some of the most emotional show, I actually broke down on a show. Well, not like I wasn't, you know, breaking down to that point, but I actually did cry on one of my shows. I don't know if you guys know this, but I do fundraisers. So I did one for, I've done a lot. I did one recently for, shout out to Amina, man, my beautiful girlfriend. Unfortunately, her husband died in her arms one morning, had a pain in his chest, and she called the ambulance and he died in her arms. So I did a fundraiser for her, and that took me down, like, you know, but I still was professional. I just, you know, had a tear or two come out. That was emotional for me. And then when DMX passed, you know, RIP to DMX as well. That was emotional. That was emotional for me. I literally nearly cried on that. I did a tribute to him. It was like a 3-hour tribute where I played all his music, just back to back with everyone on the live. And then there was another one with shout out to a lady that follows me. Her son sadly was diagnosed with cancer. He was like 7 years old, and unfortunately we raised the money, but he passed away. So
wow. Yeah, so it's realer than it's really realer than what people see, what goes into it. And it's like being in the situation where you are, and it's like your brand, you're encouraging other people, you're working on your music, you're holding your family together. How do you balance the emotions, the different roles, wearing the different hats, without it spilling over into the different areas of your life?
You know what? It's funny you should ask it, because sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, how do you do that? Like, how do you do it? I think, you know what? I have to just commend my mother, man. Shout out to Shoshana, if she's on. I love her to bits, because she's always been such a positive role model, and she always told me throughout whatever negative that happens, always find the positive and hold on to the positive. Even if you had like the worst day, and just hold on to that. And whenever you are doing something, just focus on that one thing. You know what I mean? Try not, because I'll admit, like, wearing so many hats, and, you know, like you said, I got my family and stuff, and then the jobs and stuff. It does get a lot for me sometimes, and I don't even know how I do it. I just manage to do it. But I think it just comes down to the fact that I know, like, okay, you can only do one thing at a time. So get this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. But it gets tested sometimes, especially when, you know, with family and, you know, everyone has emotions, and, you know, and we have emotions sometimes, you know, off of screen. So it's all a balance, man. It's all a balance. And there are some really tough days, but to be honest, the better days outweigh the tougher days. So.
And that's the thing, yo. And that's why I salute you right there. It's like, yo, it's like you're positive. It's like, yo, when I see you posting and stuff like that, to be honest, I don't know if you know it or not, stuff like that keeps us going. It's like, because it's like, we doing the same things. It's like some days it's like we may not get the support we want, or we may not, you know, it may not go the way we want. But it's like, yo, I look at you, and you've been doing it longer than me, and it's like, yo, she's still going. It keeps me going, where it's like, my day is gonna come. Just keep putting in the work. Don't quit. Don't complain. Don't get upset. And it's like, yo, I look at your posts, and you're positive. You're encouraging people. You're saluting and showing love. And it's like, that's what it's all about. It's like, and that shows what people real motives is. It's like, you in it for the quick return of, oh, you want to be popular, or yo, they did this. You're not gonna make it in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I look and I'm like, yo, so even in that, you're being an example, you're mentoring, whether you even know hands-on or not.
Thank you.
Just from watching the way you're dealing with it, the way you're moving through things, the way you're presenting yourself, the way you're carrying yourself, your professionalism, your attitude, your character, all that plays a part. Because it's like, me being an artist, going from artist to media, it's like, you don't know. It's like, yo, I'm gonna just come up here and keep it real, not smoke a blunt on camera. And it's like, no, you can't, because you're still representing the brand. You still it's bigger than you. So it's like, I'm watching and I'm learning as I'm going. But it's like, when I look at y'all and I see you say, yo, I've been doing it for years now, 5 years, going on 6 years. It's like, okay, so in 6 years from now, I can look back at my growth. So if you had to look back at yourself in the beginning from now, what advice would you tell yourself?
You know, it's funny you should ask that, because the other day in my, like the Facebook memories, it came up with me doing the review show, and I was laughing at myself. Yo, my confidence wasn't there. Like, it just wasn't. And I would have just said, yo, just, if I could go back, Nasim, just be confident. Like, you got it. You feel me? Like, you got it. Like, if you can perform, if you can throw yourself on stage in front of people, never sung in front of no one, and just with nothing prepared, and still pull it off and get this massive round of applause, then you should have been able to just jump on the camera and do your radio show without feeling the bag of nerves. And it's funny when I look back, because I see how, like, I can see, like, how new and fresh I was to it. You feel what I'm saying? So I would just say, yeah, just believe in yourself, man, and just be 100% confident. Mm-hmm. Wow. And don't hold back, man. Just, like you say, just keep it professional and just keep it moving.
Yeah, and the sky's the limit for you. I already know big things are gonna come. So let's talk about this big screen real quick, because like, now you done got your foot in the acting bug. Let's talk about, how did you do that, and how was that experience like?
So basically, shout out to Mad Labs TV from Philly, Kevin, man, he's dope. Shout out to him. So really dope director and videographer and stuff, and he's actually an artist now too. So double salute to him as well, wearing many hats. So basically, he was casting for this short, independent short movie that he was done. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Forgive me, Kevin, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's on YouTube. It's actually on YouTube. And he was just casting for it, and I hit him up and I said, look, I loved acting when I was at school. I was really good at drama. I just, once again, never believed in myself that I could do it. Just like with modeling, everyone used to tell me to model, and I think I got some pictures done one time, but I just still looked at them and was like, nah, I'm ugly, I can't do it. I just put them to one side, never did nothing with it. And he was just like, well, you know what, like, I want to see like what you got. We've got the script already. And I was like, so do I need to learn it? He was like, no, what we're gonna do is we're gonna tell you what the script is. We're gonna tell you your role, and then we literally want you to come and we'll see how you present the role, like how you handle the role. So I basically we did it. It was sort of like I think it was like 3 or 4, 5 sessions. We did it, and like, they was blown away. They was like, yo, you're really, really good. And that was it. It was meant to come out in 2006. It was meant to come out in 2017, but it didn't drop actually until, I think it was last year, actually. I think it was the beginning of last year. It dropped on YouTube. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. So let's talk about your role. What character were you playing?
So basically, I was the girlfriend of a street brother. Right. Who was basically battling with gaining knowledge of self, but the streets. So he was used to, smoking weed, his friends, like, out there selling drugs, shooting and stuff like that. So, but I was like the conscious girlfriend. So he was trying to, tap into knowledge of self and get himself off the streets. And, he would go out sometimes and he'll steal money and stuff. And, I was telling him, like, yo, you need to fix up. Like, I don't want this life no more. Right. I don't want the guns. I don't want it. And that was it, basically. Basically, though, obviously, if you watch it, I'm trying to remember the name of it. I just can't right now. But he basically, yeah, he was lying to me the whole time, telling me, yeah, I'm fixing up, I'm going here, I'm doing this, and he wasn't. He comes in with a whole bag of money, and I'm meant to be all happy, and I'm like, so I look at the money like and give a smirk, but not a happy one, like, well, where's all this money come from? And then I go to the closet and I find a weapon that's not his hidden in the closet, and I go off the chain, and then in the end, like, I kick him out. So yeah,
and that's real. That happens every day. A lot of times it's like, you know, you get dragged in the life, not you per se, but it's like a lot of women, they with a guy, he's in the streets, feds kicking the door, and now she's locked up as well.
And the thing is, I've experienced it for real, like real life. So I've been arrested. I've been held in that cell, literally not knowing if I was going to sit there and have to do like a 10 or 15 year bid. So I've already been through that myself, like years ago. You get what I'm saying? So I think I you know what I mean? I kind of fit the role good.
Right. And that's real right there. So for anybody that may be watching, if they watching it live or they may see the playback, right? And they're in that life, but they kind of like, yo, you know, I want more. Some people, they happy in that life. Like, this is it. I'm going to be on the block forever. And you got some people that's like, yo, you know what? I don't want to keep doing this. For the females that may be with somebody that's in that life dealing with something similar to that role, what advice would you give them?
Man, I would say this, like, you know, the thing is, you have to speak life into people, right? Even when you know they're doing wrong, like, you have to obviously, you know, people at the end of the day, people know when they're doing wrong, right? And it's, how can I say, I don't judge anyone for the street life, because seeing a lot of the brothers that I know, a lot of my family in the UK, you know, just transforming their lives. Like, you know, they had no option. That was the only thing they knew, but they moved smart. They moved smart. They made sure they could get out of it as soon as they could. They invested their money, and I've seen a lot of them do that. So I would just, to any woman out there, like, just make that clear to whoever it is you love, whether it's family, whether it's your partner, and just, you know what I mean, speak life into them, and just, you know, build that confidence in them to know that, okay, you may be doing this now, but you don't want to be doing this your whole life. Like, at the end of the day, it's a common fact. The street life is going to end two ways. Okay. It's either going to end up in death or it's going to end up in imprisonment. That's it. It's only two ways it can go. So if you don't get out, you feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, what goes around comes around. What you put out to the universe is going to come back. You know what I mean? And you got to realize as well, it might not come back straight away, but when it does come back, it can come back tenfold. So just be very mindful, and just, like I said, speak life, and you know, hopefully just stay safe, and hopefully they respect you enough and to know that, you know, what you're saying is right, and they should make a change, because at the end of the day, you can't force someone to change. People have to change because they want to change.
Right. And that's real right there. And he just summed that up perfectly, because like, they gotta want to change, but at the same time, it's setting boundaries. It's almost like, yo, you know, if you allow him to stay in the street and never change, and you just like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, you're basically condoning it. So what you're doing is you're just adding to the trauma. You're just adding to the trauma that's already there, because obviously he's doing it because that's all he knows. You feel what I'm saying? Because evidently, if he knew any different, he would be doing something different. So you just have to, like I said, still speak life, but just, you know, just, you know what I mean, get him to invest the money into something that's going to pull him away from it. I've seen people do it. Like, really, I'm proud of the people I've seen do it. Really proud of them.
And that's real right there. And the power of words, like you said, speaking life into somebody is like, somebody could feel like, yo, I'm never going to be nothing. They always was told you're not going to amount to nothing.
Right.
The power of somebody reversing that spell, saying you're great, you can do it.
Yep.
A lot of times it's like, we'll watch a person self-destruct.
Yep.
Versus, you know, saying it's like, okay, this is what you may be feeling, but you reverse it. It's like, you got to be careful. People may speak over themselves. I'm dumb. I'm this, I'm that. And it's like, they've become used to that. And now they're speaking spells on themselves. So it's like the importance of, like you said, being with a partner, speaking life into them, where it's like, yo, you may not even see it.
Right.
I see the greatness in you. I see where you're going. I see potential. I see this, that, and the third. And it's like, and now they start hearing it. They believe it. And now the change comes. So it's like, there's definitely power in that. And being a man, a lot of times, like, as strong as men have to be, and, you know, don't show emotions and stuff like that. It's nothing like it. Your woman telling, I believe in you. You can stop. You can do it. The water boy. You can do it. And he will believe it. And he will.
Right.
But it's like a lot of times it's like it becomes the competition of we begin to hurt each other with words. Like the closer people to you, it's like you hurting them with your words. Like, or
Right.
you think you don't who you think you are. I remember when you
Right.
don't think you better than us, or you get a congratulations, and it's like just as quick they want to pull you back. So it's very important with words and speaking life and your partner, not only your partner, your friends, the people you're around, because you never know mentally what people are going through. So we're talking about surviving the dark days and the dark times and not slipping into that. But like, okay, like you said, you didn't always have the confidence that you have now.
Right.
How did you develop your confidence? Because a lot of times we struggle with insecurities, we struggle with different things secretly. So it's like, yo, I see you got a lot of confidence, but you're saying, hey, it wasn't always this way.
It wasn't. I would say this, like when I was a baby up until like before you say middle school, before middle school, I was definitely more confident because I was younger and I didn't really see I didn't really pick up on what was happening around me, family wise and stuff. But as I got older, it's like that kind of seemed to diminish. I think it was based on what was happening at home and just not having anybody speak life into me. I didn't have anyone say, yo, you can do this. You're beautiful. In fact, I had the opposite. I had, someone telling me, oh, I wish you were like your cousin. She's beautiful. She's this, she's that. And it's like, I feel like that will affect a young mind, especially if it's coming from, someone who you look up to like a father. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's a no-no for a father, period. Like you shouldn't do that to your daughter. So I think that, like I said, as much as I love him and I respect him, I feel like that did quite a bit of damage confidence-wise to me. And that's why my confidence started to diminish when I was older and I started to look at myself and I didn't like myself and I wanted to be like other people and I didn't like my hair and, all this stuff. But the confidence eventually came when I started to meet people that did speak life and say, hey, like, you're so talented and you're so this and man, you should be doing this and da-da-da-da. Why don't you do this? And I think just being so independent, like living on my own from 16 years old and knowing I had, like I said, like just working and getting on with life. Like I had to, it just had to come eventually. You feel what I'm saying? Right. It was just, and it took a while, but it's everything happens for a reason, right? And I'm just glad that I went through all that because I wouldn't be the type of person I am today without it.
And that's the thing right there. Is like, it's dope because like, again, like I said earlier, and I keep saying it, like you taking that, you went through it. People that may not be on the outside looking in, if you would have never told me, I would never know because you represent strength, you represent positivity, and it's like everything about you is on the up and up, right? So it's like I salute you on that because it's like listening to you. I know you're just sharing bits and pieces because we got a time frame.
Yeah,
but it's like I hear books, I hear movies. Like
I just got goosebumps again. Yo, I mean, I don't want to say too much, but yeah, there is definitely some of that in the pipeline, and it's been in the pipeline for a while. And I got my mom is like in on it with me, so yeah, I think it's gonna be a dope thing to do because I don't in our family as well, like on both sides of the family, there's never been anybody go the route that I've gone. You feel what I'm saying? Especially like bring my mom into it. I mean, she helps me with my show, like doing some admin and stuff. So yeah, I'm excited for it. So yeah, you are right. Like I have so many things and so many stories. Like it literally is like books and movies and stuff.
Yeah. I'm glad to know you. I'm definitely glad I came in contact with you. Like I said, yeah, you motivate me. Definitely look up to you. Even though, you're a female, there's nothing wrong with a man telling a woman, I look up to you. You're doing it well. You're representing. And it's like, yo, it's like you're one of them people when I see you pop up on my news feed, it makes me feel good. It's almost like them goosebumps you're talking about. It's like, because she's still going. And I know it's all love. And it's like, yo, I salute you. And I definitely appreciate you coming up here. So let me ask, down the road, as things start unfolding, will you come back up here again? Will you kick it with the proof again?
Of course. Listen, like, bro, I'm so, like I said, like, since, I found out about you, shout out to Certified Entertainment, because I think they were the link that connected us, man. Absolutely did. And, like, I'm just, again, you've inspired me. Like, you've influenced me, even though you haven't even been doing it as long as me. Like I said to you the other day, like, you're hitting your 100th episode. Brother, I wish that I had the mindset of that to actually celebrate when I hit my first 100 shows, because I've probably done like easily probably 4,000 shows,
Right.
and I've never celebrated me, you know, reaching a milestone. I've just, let's keep going. Let's keep going. So you like doing that, like, you know, actually, and because actually acknowledging your accomplishments is a phenomenal thing, and that's like amongst other things, you know what I mean, as well, because there's a whole other things that you've inspired me on, just how your, you know, just how your whole setup is, your presence, again, your aura is dope. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's really dope, and congratulations, man. I wish I had done that.
Yeah.
But like I said, like, I don't know what it is with me. Like, sometimes I just forget the small accomplishments and I just keep moving and moving. But when I saw you do that, I was like, Nasteem, yeah, you need to do the same, not the same thing like that, but just acknowledge the small accomplishments, because people might think, yeah, well, it's only 100 shows. No, that's serious. And I wish I had tapped in, you know, and done that.
I'm going to be transparent. I'm going to be real honest with you. When I first started the show, right, I was a hot mess. Nothing was working. When I say a hot mess, I was going through, a breakup, single dad, you know, so I got my kids and that I'm going through mentally.
Right.
I'm ready to check out.
Right.
It's like, yo, the music ain't working. You know, people I thought was going to be solid, not relationship, but even friends, like you said, that support system.
I've been through that too.
People that you thought was going to be there. And it's like, in that moment, I felt alone. And it's like, what am I going to do now? And then it's like, I started on and I think I met Samantha Lavelle first through Clubhouse. From her, she wound up introducing me to Certified. And from there, it's like, you know, just talking to them, like-minded people.
Right.
Is the word I would use. Like-minded people, where it's like with vision. Where it's like, they never knew I was depressed. They never knew I was almost like that close to giving up. Like, you know what? I just can't do this. It ain't working. But it's like just being around people talking a different language.
Right. Mm-hmm.
We can do this. We can do that. That's speaking life again. Yeah. I began to, like, you know, slowly come out of my funk. Where it's like I found myself getting drawn to that. And it's like, you know, I'd rather hear that conversation versus sometimes, you know, in the circles we get in, it's like people become complacent. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know, it's the same old saying. And It's like, you know, you want more. So it's like around that same time, my crew was, you know, at the same time evolving. Like, yo, we gotta come up with something, another level. We gotta take it to another level. We all coming out of a dark place. And from that, speaking life is like we coming up. So it's like when we first started, as depressed as I was, I didn't think I would make it 20 shows.
That's what's up.
So you know, the go, and it's like, you know, it ain't no big thing, but it's like we have to.
It is a big thing.
It's like, you know, it's like, because, you know, life is short. And around that, even in the beginning of that dark time, I lost my father.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Before that, it was like, you know, it happens. Life, you know, I definitely appreciate that though. But the story is like growing up, we weren't that close. We were, but we won't. We had, you know, teenage years, we had our spats and stuff like that. It's like, you know, we tried to reconcile, you know, but it's like, okay, here and there. It was never solidified. He wound up getting sick. And it's like, then I realized, like, my dad's not going to be here forever. That's when the light bulb hit. Like, he's not going to be here forever. So whatever differences I had to put him to the side. Let me reconcile with him. So I wound up getting 10 years from that moment with him. Then he passed away. So it's like those 10 years is like, you know, I'm trying to spend as much time as I can, have the conversations with him. But it was when he passed away. And I looked at my kids and I looked at my friends, and it was like, we not promised the next day.
Right.
It's like, you know, the same thing how you were saying with your friend. It was a situation where my dad, he was already going through heart issues and situations. So he tell my mom, call the ambulance. So she was like, all right. She called the ambulance. You know, normal, he has heart issues, so it's normal. Ambulance comes. He goes outside, you know, in the paramedics. He never made it out the driveway.
Man.
But he was up enough to say, yo, call the paramedics. And she's there. She had her grandkids there. So it would have been her and the grandkids that would have found him.
Wow.
So it's like he held it together long enough to be like, yo, let me get out here. And then within 20, 30 minutes outside, he was gone.
Oh, man.
So around this time, they're calling like, yo, you know, he's having an episode. It's almost like you hear the stories, Tupac. Oh, he got shot. He's going to make it.
Right.
You're not thinking This is it.
Right.
So that, you need to get home. Your pop, stop. All right, I'm on the way. Get there. Where is he at? He's gone. It was at that moment, when it comes to my friends, when it comes to my kids, when it comes to people I care about, it's like we have to treasure each other while we're here, because I can get off this interview with you right now. And yo, it was dope. Salute. And I wind up, I'm going to just go grab me some food real quick, get in an accident, fall asleep at the wheel, anything.
Yep.
And it's like, I got a mind and a heart full of things that I wish I would have told you on the other side.
Right.
It's like I have the opportunity now to say, yo, I salute you as a woman. I salute your movement. I respect what you're doing. And to see somebody that's doing what I aspire to do, and then you're down to earth. It's like, yo, not only are you like doing the same thing, it's like you embrace me like family. Like, yo, yeah, I'll do your show. You respond to me, yo, bro, yeah, You're not like, oh, you just starting out. You're down there. You're genuine. It's like you always been that way. And that makes it more realer when I salute you and say, yo, I really respect you. And I want to give you your honor, because that's big. And even in the industry that's dominated by men.
Thank you.
You're representing yourself right. You're representing yourself well. You're not out here trying to, get half naked to get attention. None of that. It's more about your brain, my talents, and the love I'm showing. And it's like, and that's what draws people. And it's like, and that in itself, you don't see that in 2021.
Thank you so much, man.
And I definitely appreciate you coming up here, yo. And it's like, people might say he's mushy, he's this and the third, but I know the power of words, and I know we don't know our last days. So it's almost like what I looked at DMX for is because he would lay it on the line. It's like, he felt like I need to pray for you. If I need to tell you I love you, we're going to do it right now. It don't matter who's around. And that inspired me.
Yeah, and thank you so much. Like, I feel 100% the same way. And I always say this to my man. I always say to him, like, it's not even worth arguing over little things with anybody. Like, it's really not worth it, because, anything can happen tomorrow. Like, you might not talk to that person and think, yeah, I ain't calling. No, I ain't gonna, no, forget that. Like, 4 days go, and then what? Then you try and call them and they're gone. Like, and that's always first and foremost in my mind. Whenever any disagreement comes up with anybody in my family or anything like that, my first thing is, you know what? Even if, people get, we have disagreements sometimes, we all go through it, right? With family and stuff, friends, family. But the longest I'll stay, there's a limit on how long I will stay quiet. And then in the end, I'll be the bigger person. I don't care, because I have a conscience. I want to know that, heaven forbid, if anything happens to you tomorrow, that I know I made the effort to tell you I love you, I appreciate you, I support you. Yeah. And man, yeah, thank you for everything, because like you blew me away with what you said, and it's like I really respect you, man, as well, because I feel like if we have more people like yourself, more brothers like yourself that are not afraid to open up and say like how they feel and how inspired they are and move through love yourself. And I feel like that's why we resonate. It's why, like, with Certified Entertainment, same thing. Shout out to Samantha as well. Like, we all resonate because your vibe attracts your tribe, right? When you're vibing off that same energy, when you know that you're purely about it for love over anything else, at the end of the day, you ain't got to worry, because the financial side gonna come. You get what I'm saying? I always say that. Do it from a place of love, everything will come.
Everything else will come. And that's real right there. I think we touched on everything, but if we didn't, let's let the people know if anything that we may need to mention that we may have forgotten so far.
Yeah, perfect. There is one thing. So you did mention about, there is a podcast that I have too. It's called Tones of Justice. It's on a Sunday. Yeah, Tones of Justice is on a Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. And we broadcast on Tones of Justice on YouTube, Tones of Justice on Facebook. What we do there, I do it with Greta. Shout out to Greta McLean from Silent No Longer, which is an organization in Tennessee who fights against injustices on every level: sexual assault, racism, the whole shebang. I'm actually a board member with them, so shout out to them. I'm on their board. And we do this podcast, Four Tones of Justice, where we discuss the correlation between music and social justice issues. And what we do is, as well as we talk about what is currently happening in different states with gun crime to racism to sexual assault. But what we also do is we spotlight artists, because I think it's very important. That's why I have Mix and Blend Radio, which I am going to be bringing back as well. I'm going to be bringing that back on Clubhouse only to start off with. That's why we spotlight artists that have music pertaining to those issues, because I feel like if more artists, actually put music out about that, then I just feel like subconsciously we're going to do a lot more for the generation that's coming up, musically and just on a whole. Because whether you like your children to listen to whether you stop your children listening to like certain music or not, they're still going to hear it. There's still a way that they're going to hear it. So if we can kind of make sure that we're putting out more music with substance, then like you said, like we have power, it's power over words, right? And it's I think artists need to realize that with what they write too. Whatever you put in your music, you can literally make that happen. So you have to be very mindful about what you're saying. And that's cool if you're telling a real story, but all that other stuff, if you're making up stuff, just be very mindful, because words have a way of manifesting, right? And I just feel like, as artists, if we could put more more like conscious friendly music out there, which is educating and spreading awareness, I just think like, I don't know, I just feel like things would be a little bit different. You feel what I'm saying? Right. But I know it's hard with the industry, because they don't want to spotlight, they don't want to put that music at the top of the billboards or beats. Right. They don't want to put it up there. But that's why we have this. That's why we're doing not just the Tones of Justice. That's why I have Mix and Blend Radio. And that's why we've started this whole new industry takeover movement. I'm also affiliated with Independent Music Network as well. They're off of Clubhouse, and they're doing the same thing. We're trying to just, bring everyone together and make a major change in the industry, which I believe we are doing.
Wow. And I'm definitely all for that. If you would, after the show, if you send me the links, I'll pin them in the descriptions.
Oh, that
YouTube,
would be good.
And then I'll put them in the comments on Facebook, so people can definitely support that right there. And is the new industry takeover?
Yeah, new industry takeover. Yeah,
okay.
And Tones of Justice. So if you're an artist out there and you would like to come on and discuss, any of the topics at hand, or if you have music pertaining to social justice issues, we'll spotlight you and we'll make sure you get you get to say what you want to say on the platform too. So.
And that's real right there. Speaking of the injustices and stuff that's going on right now, what's your take on that? And what's your what would you say to the brothers? And what you got to say to the women?
Listen, I mean, I'm just sorry, because I know we've run out of time, but people don't know this, but I was actually studying criminal law back in the UK. I actually I was working on my degree back in the UK, but I was doing it for like 3.5 years. I actually got my degree, but what happened was I decided to not further it anymore, because I started to learn about, I already knew how corrupt the justice system was in the UK based on what happened to someone close to me. And then when I learned about the justice system out here, I was like, well, goddamn, I'm trying to be a defense lawyer, but what chance do I have when the system is so mashed up, like it's so corrupt? With everything that's going on now, I just want to say, like, definitely stay strong, man. Speak life into each other. There's already everything, as you know, that's happening around us. Make sure that you can protect your family. There's how can I say it? I'm not anti-gun. I'm really not anti-gun. It's not the guns that kill people. It's the people that kill people, right? So I feel like we are really in some wild times right now. We've been in wild times. It's been over 400 years, man. We've been going through this stuff, but we're really at a pinnacle point right now. So definitely, I would say, listen, whatever business ideas you have, please, like, get on it, do it. Make sure, you love on your family, you speak life into your family, speak life into your friends, man. Try to de-escalate things. Rather than encourage fights, than, like, awareness is good, but there's awareness and then there's just spreading stuff for the sake of spreading it. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, just try to be mindful of that. And at the end of the day, listen, love wins over everything. You know what I'm saying? So, just... just stay strong, man. Please just stay strong and just love on each other and, just move very carefully and very cautiously and just keep your eyes wide open at all times.
That's real right there. Keep your head on the swivel. Definitely
Swivel,
eyes
that's
wide
the
open.
one.
Right. So,
Yep.
all right. So for the week coming up, I know you got your show as well. So let's let the people know what they can expect on the Iron Throne Radio and what you got coming up. What shows?
Okay. So on Iron Throne Radio this week, hold on, it's Wednesday right now. So yeah, Iron Throne Radio is back on Friday and have an exclusive interview with an artist called Imaj. She is fire. Shout out to her and her whole team. And then I have on, what day is it? On Sunday, I have another exclusive interview on. So actually, to be honest, the next month is all exclusive interviews. So yeah, if you want to tap into some outstanding artists, definitely tap in with us. It's I'm From Radio on Facebook, I'm From Radio on YouTube. Please subscribe, like the business page on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then follow I'm From Radio on Instagram. And evidently you can follow Strong Jewel, so it's Strong and Jewel, as you see in the bottom there. Or there, I should go. Yeah, there. Strong Jewel 215 on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Clubhouse, and Twitch.
That's Strong Jewel 215.
Yep, Strong Jewel 215. And we don't have Tones of Justice. We're not doing it this Sunday because unfortunately Greta McLean had some other prior engagements. But we are back next week, and we have an outstanding artist. You might know her name, called Sparrow.
I think I have heard.
She is wow. Listen, guys, please tap in for that because she has a major story to tell us, and yeah, her music is outstanding.
Yeah, and that's dope right there. So again, after, be sure to send it so I can pin it. I
will. Thank you.
So that we can cross promote each other and stuff like that. Plus, we want to send our people so they can check out the shows because you got a lot of talent over there as well. You're definitely doing big things, yo. And again, I definitely appreciate you coming through. It's all love, yo. And I know it's God time and it's the right time, and we've been trying to put it together, but it's no better than the time right now. Exactly. It's the perfect time for this right here. And I definitely appreciate you. And it made my day.
Hey, that's what's up.
Like, yo,
I really enjoyed it. It's made my day too.
Yeah, you're one of those people where it's like the energy is like so organic and real. It's like, yo, it makes you feel better. And I definitely appreciate it. And I think that you really do deserve all the flowers. And I encourage people to support the movement because like you had a lot of good things going on, definitely even down to promotion and marketing and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that you do for artists that could benefit them. So I definitely encourage our artists to tap in, reach out to her. She definitely make a big move. So again, we definitely appreciate you. You got any shout outs, anything you want to give?
You first and foremost, man. Seriously, brother, thank you so much, man. And I just, like I said, I'm so blessed to have been able to not only know you and tap into you and your show, but to be on this platform because you are doing major things. Whether you've just been, like you say, you feel like you've just started, but you are moving like so swift and so professional, and you're really like making major waves. Like I'll be tapping into some of your some of the pre-interviews that you've done before this one, and I see people on your page, and what I mean, like you are really you are doing outstanding. You definitely are. And I'm just like you said, when you first started, I was a little bit like that too. I was going through stuff. I was sketchy and etchy and nervous and twitchy, and you know what I mean, but it all comes, man, and you are made for it because you look at you now, like it's just you're in your comfort zone, and your energy is A1. Your energy is this has been a really dope interview. This has to be one of my best interviews yet, without a shadow of a doubt. Really enjoyed it, man. So I'm gonna give you your flowers all day. Other shout outs that I want to do, definitely shout out to my mom, Shoshana, man. Shout out to everyone that tapped in. I know I saw a few people on, so shout out to all them, and just shout out to everybody in this whole independent community, man. You got Certified Entertainment, shout out to them. Let's Get Activated, the podcast. Yeah, you've got man, there's so many, man. You got the whole Jizu Radio, you got the Mob Pit, you got Dorky Radio, you got World Play, you got QSJ Radio. Man, there's so many, man. You got who is it? Teresa, man, who came on from Global Empire. They just interviewed me the other day. Shout out to them. Man, there's just so many. Shout out to Mikhail Keller, man, from Philly, man, from Philly Hot Radio, doing massive things. And just shout out to everybody, man. I love you all, man. Everybody that's been supporting my platform, everybody that's on here, everybody that's all the phenomenal artists that have come over. And I just, Man, the shout outs would just go for ages and ages. So I just want to shout out to just everybody, period, that knows me. I definitely have to shout out to DJ Smack one more time, man. You know, that's my baby there. So shout out to him. And also shout out to the whole 610 Radio fan for the syndication, because I wouldn't be as big as I am if it wasn't for them allowing the syndication to happen. So yeah, definitely shout out to them. And stay tapped in as well. Shout out to WorldPlay. We got big things coming with WorldPlay real soon. So if you haven't already tapped into WorldPlay, tap in. Definitely.
Tap in, yo.
Yeah. And I just want to say as well, you was talking about the cross promo. I'm gonna definitely be hitting you up about what we spoke about, because I have artists that performed at the first ever We Bring the Stars Out showcase that we did in February. There's like 12 artists, and I promised them when they came that they would get interviews on different platforms. Yeah, like I will definitely be, if you're cool, but I know you're really busy, but once you've got over the 100 celebration and stuff, I'm definitely going to tap him in, because I'm all for that cross promo. I feel like, you know, that's what we should be doing as entities, because if we cross promote, we're just going to get bigger and bigger, and we should all be on this journey together. We all got our individual businesses, but it's a family, you feel me? So
definitely. And that's definitely real. You know, I'm all for it. So send them over and we'll put it together. Or you can come up with the dates and put it together. But I definitely appreciate you again. That's a big salute. Iron Throne Radio in the building. Strong Jewel. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks everybody who left a comment, everybody that watched the show live, or if you watched the playback, we definitely appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, not only the Proof Podcast, but be sure to go and find Iron Throne Radio on YouTube. Hit that subscribe. Follow her on all social media. Iron Throne Radio on everything, right?
Yeah, Iron Throne Radio on everything. And one more shout out to Stephanie with 2 E's, R&B girl. I love you, girl. I see she popped in earlier, and I was gonna shout her out. My bad.
No problem. You good. And
did they still want the bars? Or
we still wanted the bars. I was gonna let you get out. I was gonna let you.
You can let me know about them.
I was gonna let you get out of there. But you know what I was gonna do? I'm glad you said that, because I was gonna let you end it. But I was like, you know what? She did it early. I'm gonna leave her. I'm gonna let her rock. But since you brought it up, that was confirmation. That's how we'll end the show right there. We'll let you close it out with the bars. And again, we thank everybody for tuning in. This is the Proof and the Pudding Podcast show. And we're gonna show y'all it's not a gimmick. Strong Jules. She about to let y'all see that the proof is really in the pudding.
Let's get it. All right. Fly like birds, sting like bees. Behold the words of Muhammad Ali. They want to contest, we can't test us. See, divine intervention, that's who we be. See our resistance is power in an instant. We hold the key, yeah, we go the distance. And we strong like King Kong, yeah, persistent. So they want to control our existence. History's inconsistent, so we stay resistant. They want us to be non-existent. Third eye open, so we stay distant. Pressure bust pipes, but our pressure's consistent. They want to stop our growth, want to stop the show. But strength in numbers, we hustle the flow. No justice, no peace, you know how we go. No justice, no peace, you know how we go. So fight the power, no time to cower. Yeah, you know we came to devour. Fight the power, no time to cower. Yeah, you know we came to devour. That was
Fight the power, you know we came to devour. Yo, that's dope right there. And it's conscious. And I love the bars, yo. And I love what you're doing. And I know there's much success on the way for you right there. And again, yo, I'm gonna let you close it out. Yo, you do this all the time, so I'm pretty sure, yo, you've been doing this. So, yo, we appreciate everybody, yo. Strong Jewel in the building. We're gonna let her sign y'all out. And yo, we definitely appreciate y'all. I love everybody.
Hey, listen, I love everybody. Thank you for tapping in, man. You've been tapped into the Proof is in the Pudding podcast. It's actually Proof Podcast, but I like how you said Proof is in the Pudding. That's dope. Proof Podcast, yo. Please, guys, if you haven't already, please make sure you go follow, man, Proof Podcast on everything. And also Iron Throne Radio, man. And you can look out for my brother. It's going to be on my show real soon. So y'all better make sure y'all tap in. I'm looking forward to him being in the hot seat this time. So thank you once again from the bottom of my heart, man. This has definitely been one of the dopest interviews I've ever done. So please, everybody out there, stay safe, stay blessed, stay positive, stay productive, keep pushing, keep showing each other love, and no justice, no peace. You already know what time it is. I love y'all.
I love y'all. Yo, thanks everybody for tuning in. It's the Proof. Yo, we out here.